All right, hey guys, let's take a look at that 2.1 homework. So we're starting Unit 2, and this is going to be about fractions, adding fractions with like and unlike denominators. So our warm-up is just going to be with like denominators. Let's just get back in the habit here. We see in the first page here, it said shade 1/7 and then shade 4/7 more. I did two different colors just to distinguish. We had 1/7 in pink, 4/7 in blue, so we got 1/7 plus 4/7. Together that's 5/7. So if this is a pizza, you know, we got a slice of pepperoni and 4 slices of ham, whatever. We got 5 slices left. You know, maybe after the party we're putting them in boxes, whatever. But so this first page we're just adding up like denominators, and same with the next page too. The only difference is these do get into more than one. So again, if I had 4/5, so I start with 4/5 in pink, and then 2/5 more. Notice that 2/5 I started by finishing my first hole, and then I needed one slice over here, one more over here. So that 4/5 plus 2/5 does make 6/5. So we actually have 6 slices shaded in, 6 pieces shaded in. So that's where we get 6/5, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also let's simplify that into the the whole and the fraction part. So we got 1 and 1/5. So go ahead and just practice that, guys. Just again, getting the gears turning, warming up with some fractions this year. Next, just write the mixed number that represents. Also want you, 1 plus 1, so we got 2 holes here, plus 1/4. That's how we get 2 and 1/4. So again, just getting started, taking it easy with some fractions. And then we've been doing some division with Unit 1, so let's just review a little bit with this. Just a few division problems. Again, one strategy that will work is, multiply by 10 if you can. So 14 times 10 is 140. And if we can do that, then we can subtract here. 4, 2, and 2. So 14 times 10 is 140. So I can take 10 groups of 14 out right away. We can take another group of 10 in this one. Another 140. Get a 4. Gonna have to regroup here. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then at this point, we can start taking other numbers. Maybe I'll just take 2 groups of 14. So I know that's 28. So we can regroup here. 4 and 2, that's going to be 6 left here. 5. I'll take another 2 groups of, I'll take another 28. Why not? The thing is if you knew already, if you already know what that answer is, so you might get there a little quicker than me. I'm just going to take a couple at a time to show we can. Oh, hey, and look it, we got 28 left, so there's 2 more. The key is whatever strategy works for you, you can start taking out those numbers. So 10, 20, 2, 4, 6. So altogether, we got 26. So there are 26 groups of 14 inside 364. Okay? So whatever strategy works for you. And then the next, this is designed to be cut and paste. So if you want to cut these out, paste them in the right spots over here. Let's just take a look at one of these. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 pieces along the top here, so we can see there's 10 pieces altogether. So in pink, we see there's 3/10, and then in blue we got 2/10, right? So we can find one that says 3/10 plus 2/10, and we can see that's going to be right here. Notice how it says 1/2. Well, up top we're going to add 3 plus 2 to get 5/10, but that's going to be the same as 1/2, right? So the idea is to cut this out and glue it over here, but if you want to write it, I don't really care. But have fun cutting and pasting if you want. And on the back, just a few more, just practice this idea. Adding and subtracting with like denominators. So your denominator stays the same. And then up top, we just got to add or subtract our numerators. And then since we're starting the next unit, I threw this in here. This is just the overview. So up here we got our bullets. What are we going to do this unit? We're going to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators. So we're going to get there. This practice one, we're starting with like denominators. We're going to solve word problems involving addition and subtraction of fractions with unlike denominators. So that's where we're heading, is unlike denominators. Find common denominators for fractions with unlike denominators. Find the greatest common factor and least common multiple to help simplify fractions and common denominators. So again, if we zoom in here a little bit, what are the main ideas? We talk about clocks a fair amount. That gives us a total of 60. So 1/4 of my clock, 1/4 would be the same as 15 out of 60 minutes, right? Or 1/3. If I cut this into thirds, we can see, that's 20 minutes. So if we're adding 15 sixtieths plus 20 sixtieths, that's 35 sixtieths. And then we'll also take a look at how we can simplify that. So up here, if we divide both these by 5, we can get 7/12, right? Also, we can see that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of the 12. So again, we'll just practice that this unit. Also, what is 1/5 of 60? These are called unit fractions, where our numerator is just 1, so it's just 1 unit out of that. So really, to find 1/5 of 60, what we're really doing is we're saying what is 60 divided by 5, and that is going to be 12. And then we'll also take a look at it like this. 60 divided by 5 kind of looks like a fraction, but fractions are just division problems. What's 60 divided by 5? That's 12. So if 1/5 of 60 is 12, we could say, well, what would 2/5 be? Oh, well, it'd be double that, right? So again, just kind of getting in the habit of that. And then also looking like 3/4 of 24. So this leads nicely to the next part. So in our example right here, we did 1/5 of 60. So we could find 1/4 of 24. And down here, they're kind of breaking it down like we're going to be doing in class. So if we do a 1/4 of 24, but I want 3 of those, well, 1/4 of 24, how do we find that? Well, that's like 24 divided by 4, and then I'm going to multiply it by 3. So 1/4 of 24 is 6, but I want 3 of those, so that's where I get 18 altogether. And that's what these blocks are showing here. We start with 24 blocks, but to find 3/4 of those, we split into fourths, so that's why there's 6 in each row, and I just need 3 rows. So again, kind of some things coming up. Again, here we go, adding and subtracting with unlike denominators. We can use these ratio tables to help us get to common denominators. And then we'll also talk, one thing we can do too is also just multiply our denominators if we need to. So we can multiply this by 8, this by 3. Whatever you do downstairs, with the denominator, do with the numerator up top, right? So 2 times 8 is 16, and 3 times 8 is 24. So we can think about that as 16 24ths and 15 24ths. And we'll get our fraction magnets out and show, kind of like a pizza, I can make the pieces the same size. So if I have one pizza that's the same size as the other, but one's cut into thirds, one's cut into eighths. Actually, if we cut them both into 24ths, now every slice is the same, so we can actually compare them. And then, yeah, that's how they get our answer there, right here, the 31 24ths. So 16 plus 15, we do get 31 over 24. And again, we've got more than one whole. And then down here, we can take a look at, common multiples. So up top, that strategy I just did was we multiplied 3 times 8 to get 24. Turns out, if I look at my multiples of 8, 16, 24, that was the least common multiple. Where here, if we know our multiples, hey, we can rewrite both of these as something over 30, can't we? Well, 15 times 2 is 30, so I gotta do the same up top. 8 times 2 is 16. And then 6 times 5 is 30, so again, just do the same up top. So again, we got a couple different ways that we can get to the same answer here. So it's all about what makes sense to the student. As always, let me know if you have any questions, and let's have fun with Unit 2.